Hey guys, Kevin Walters here with Kevin's Auto Channel, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I apologize for the long absence here on the channel, but back right after Christmas at the first of the year, I came down with COVID, and I am just now getting to where I'm feeling better and I've got my strength back. So it zapped me of everything I had, just like a car battery. And it took me a while to charge back up, but I'm back and happy to be back. So, no, I have not forgotten about the 1,000 subscriber giveaway and the drawing. Actually, what I want you to do is watch this video and stay tuned to the end, because at the end of this video, we will be drawing the name of the winner of that Craftsman Mechanics tool set that I have promised to give away now that we've reached 1,000 subscribers. So be sure, stay tuned to the end, and I hope you enjoy the video. Let's get straight to it. Everybody, Kevin Walters here with Kevin's Auto Channel, and I am here with my good friend Matthew Wallace, and he recently, did you say acquired?
Started,
commenced an AMSOIL, not AMS, but AMSOIL franchise. Is that franchise?
Sure. Dealership
franchise. He's an AMSOIL rep. How about that? And so we're here. Matt is a veteran, Marine Corps, did a tour in Afghanistan, did 4 years. So we always appreciate our veterans, and thank you for fighting for our country and our freedom.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So you may think of AMSOIL as an expensive racer's alternative to conventional oils, but AMSOIL is so much more than that. Not only do AMSOIL carry your conventional or synthetic motor oils, diesel oils, they have a wide variety of things. Anything from two-stroke oil to gun oil for all your firearms. So Matt's here. He's going to talk to us, tell us a little bit about how he got into AMSOIL, and let us know of the deals that are going on today. So Matt, take it away.
I appreciate that. How's it going? My name is Matt Wallace. As Kevin said, I recently acquired my own AMSOIL dealership, and I just want to tell you a little bit about the reason why I even tried to do it. I have an 02 Z06 Corvette over there, and I've owned it for right at a year now. And I noticed when I first bought it that the transmission shifted not really bad, but it was a little rougher than I was used to. So I actually changed out my tranny fluid for another very popular synthetic transmission fluid, Redline, which is still a great product. What I did discover, though, when the winter started setting in, was that the synchros seemed to be drier when I first fired it up. I have an 8-month-old son at home now. I don't get to drive my baby very often. And so on first startup, it would take about 20 to 30 shifts before I could really get the transmission fluid flowing,
right,
to really get it where it was shifting smooth like I like it. So I started doing my research, and I actually consistently kept coming up AMSOIL. Everybody that I could find throughout the forums, throughout anything that I could see on Facebook, whoever does anything with cars consistently kept saying, listen, AMSOIL is the way to go. So I tested it myself. I actually tested a product that I'll tell you a little bit more about here in a little bit, the AMSOIL Torque Drive, and fell in love with it, and immediately started talking to the dealer that I bought the product from,
right,
and about the process, about, because I'll tell you, at an 8-month-old son, as I told you, he gets a little expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And so
eating and pooping, going through those diapers.
Absolutely. And so, like I said, I fell in love with the product, and so, that's kind of where I started from here. And as Kevin said, I think we all those of us that have somewhat of a background in cars, I know me personally, I've always thought AMSOIL, like you said, is primarily a racing, development type of thing, not really something for your everyday driver.
Right.
And like Kevin said, it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. Case in point, I'd like to start off by just talking about our first 3 brands of oil. The AMSOIL OE motor oil is actually a perfect example of what I was saying. This is for your typical user. This is OE motor oil. Obviously, it's 100% synthetic, but it is also so much more than that. This motor oil in particular goes 3,000 to 5,000 miles, and it delivers 100% synthetic engine protection for advanced automotive technology. So once again, for those of you that prefer your synthetics, the AMSOIL OE, you can't go wrong with that. The next step up is actually the XL motor oil. This is AMSOIL XL. It is actually good for up to 12,000 miles. Now, a lot of people don't realize that.
Ooh, and with traditional car guys, you think 5,000 miles is the max. And I've talked about that in previous videos with this Silverado, because they want you to go 10,000 miles on, their regular oil. And I just don't feel comfortable doing that. But AMSOIL has the R&D behind them, and they've tested this stuff. So, yeah, if they say 12,000 miles, you can pretty much bet on it, 12,000 miles.
Absolutely. And one thing that I really like that you just mentioned, Kevin, was talking about, what a lot of the manufacturers are starting to realize is, hey, oil nowadays can actually go a lot further than it used to. I'm of the same school as you, 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Hey, it's time to change that oil. But what's interesting, like I said, even with AMSOIL is actually the only oil that carries its own warranty. Okay, so you've got a lot of these car companies that will try to convince you that, listen, if you use any oil other than a Mobil 1 or a Valvoline or a Motorcraft, it's going to void your warranty. That is poor salesmanship on their part, because that's completely illegal. They can't do that. But what also is crazy is, like I said, AMSOIL has its own warranty. They are the only oil that can offer this warranty. But literally, if anything goes wrong with your car as a direct result of their fluid, they will actually pay complete cost for your repair or replacement of your equipment. And I don't know any other company that offers something like that.
Yeah, and that takes the risk out of it right there. If they say 12,000 miles, you put this in your vehicle and you go 10,000 miles and something happens, AMSOIL is going to stand behind it.
Exactly.
And that gives you peace of mind and one less thing to worry about.
Exactly. So just when you thought this was the best you could get, believe it or not, AMSOIL actually has a step above. So AMSOIL sells their Signature Series synthetic motor oil. Now this is basically this on steroids. The Signature Series actually is good up to 25,000 miles. Guys, that is one oil change a year.
25,000 miles?
25,000 miles.
Ooh, now that's stretching it. That's 5 oil changes,
right,
that you're not even having to do.
And so, you mentioned before, often with AMSOIL and often with products like this, you get what you pay for. And so obviously, people, their first concern is going to be, hey, okay, well, 25,000 miles, sure, maybe it's one oil change a year, but it's probably going to be crazy expensive. And again, I would say you get what you pay for. However, AMSOIL actually offers a great tool that they offer. It's actually called the Preferred Dealer Program. Kevin actually just signed up recently for this as well. But the Preferred Customer, not Preferred Dealer, Preferred Customer Program.
He is my preferred dealer, though.
Yes. And so it is actually reduced pricing. So what's really awesome about the Preferred Customer Program is actually for a very small fee at the very beginning of the year, $20. It is actually 25% off all future purchases. 25% off of your oil, 25% off of apparel if you're into AMSOIL apparel, any other fluids that you can think of, it's 25% off, which very, very, very well indeed pays for itself after a little small amount of time. And so, like I said, these are our top brands here. These are our top sellers here is what these are.
So, yeah, guys, I mean, for about the cost of you would pay for lunch, you know, a nice lunch, you get the preferred customer program. And 25% off any purchase?
Any purchase.
Any purchase on the website, whether it be apparel or, you know, your synthetic oil, transmission fluid, diesel oil, gasoline additives, 25% off. Guys, your first or second purchase, that's paid for.
And what else is really cool, Kevin, is on top of the 25% off, they also help you out with free gear throughout the year. So they'll send you hats, they'll send you shirts. I think the current promo is actually a magnetic parts bowl for those of you that like to work on your cars and you want to take the bolts off, throw them in the bowl real quick. And they do stuff like that consistently throughout the year, as well as you earn points towards future purchases. So like I said, it's an awesome program there.
It's really, really good. So that's a little overview of AMSOIL and Matt's franchise, dealership, whatever you want to call it. So now let's get into the products, see a little bit more about them, what the benefits are, and see if this is a good fit for you. So let's get into it. Okay, Matt, now that we have talked about the synthetic motor oil that AMSOIL offers, let's talk about some of the other products. Now, just a note, what you see here is only a small portion of what is in the AMSOIL catalog. So keep that in mind. There's a lot more categories that aren't here. We'll cover those in future videos. But right now we're just wanting to cover the basics and cover the main products that most everybody's going to buy on a daily basis. Now, Matt, where did all of these products come from? What's the history behind, how did all this get started?
Well, and I'll tell you, Kevin, that's what's crazy. So AMSOIL was actually created, it was founded by a man named A.J. Amatuzio, okay? He was a fighter jet pilot in the U.S. military. When he was up in the air, he realized, hey, there must be a lot of technology keeping me afloat up here. And so he wanted to do a little more research. He wanted to figure out what kind of fluids, what kind of fuels that the jets use. And he discovered that synthetic oil is actually what was being used in the jets. And he wanted to figure out how to bring that to the average consumer. You know, because at the time, you know, conventional motor oil, like we said before, was good for like 3,000 miles. And he wanted something that had more quality for a car. And so he ended up he did his research and he founded AMSOIL. And from that point forward, AMSOIL has been known as the first in synthetics. You know, and from that point forward, they've also remained the tip top. You know, constantly tests are being performed. You mentioned the R&D earlier. And what I love too, for those of you out there that like to watch YouTube, other than Kevin, there's a gentleman out there by the name of Todd. He is on Project Farm, and he actually does a lot of different types of independent tests for certain things. He actually did his own test. He is not an advocate for AMSOIL or Pennzoil or Valvoline, any of the top brands, but he did his own independent test of all of the products that are available nowadays, the top contenders, and AMSOIL consistently came out on top. You're welcome to check that video out. I think Kevin...
Yeah, we'll put a link in the video description below, so be sure and check that out and go show support to Project Farm.
So, but yeah, like I said, it's just it is consistently testing as the top of the line products. So,
wow. So I see we have a wide array. We have transmission fluid. We've got diesel oil. We've got some gasoline treatment. What's this in this silver can right here, Matt?
So Kevin, this is actually AMSOIL metal protector. To those of you out there that you know use your WD-40 a lot, this is a lot like that. But believe it or not, it's been tested. Everything AMSOIL does, they test. Their R&D department. I love the fact that you brought that up. But their R&D department works countlessly. They are constantly trying to better themselves. And so this is just like WD-40, except it actually tests better in certain situations. If you've ever noticed, often WD-40 over time starts to wear out, and you end up having to reapply it, and it even sometimes leaves like a ooey gooey mess and stuff sticks to it. The AMSOIL metal protector doesn't do that. It actually sets a good film on your hinges, on whatever it is that you're lubricating, and then most of the time you don't have to reapply. So it's a great product.
So it sounds like with this, AMSOIL is sort of branching out into not only automotive, but into general purpose and even household products.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
So another thing we have here is actually our AMSOIL Performance Improver. This is actually a great gasoline deep cleaning additive. Often you think of like a
STP?
Great example. Yeah,
Okay.
STP is often what this would be compared to, but yet again, the studies have shown that AMSOIL consistently outperforms the others. But you add this to your engine, and it actually will increase your horsepower. I'm sorry, restore your horsepower. It's not going to increase you guys. This isn't like a nitrous in a bottle type of thing. But no, it will restore 14% of your horsepower back after just one tank of this. They actually tested this on a 2016 Chevy Silverado back at the plant very recently, and it consistently tested better, like I said, with just one tank. So this is great stuff. It cleans your injectors, it restores your power, and it restores your miles per gallon back to where it should be. So that's a great product.
And with so many engines today that are direct injected, you know there's a lot of carbon buildup on your valves that normally port injection would take care of and keep it cleaned off. But with this, you can ensure that your Camaro or whatever else you have that's direct inject, it's going to keep it clean. It's a great product.
Absolutely. And then our AMSOIL Quick Shot is basically very similar, except this is for like your small engines. This is for your motorcycles, your ATVs, even your lawn care equipment. This is very similar to the PI in that it's going to treat your fuel. It's going to. This is also a great product because it's also a stabilizer. Often at the beginning of the season, you want everything running clean, but at the end of the season, you hang up your lawnmower and often forget to drain the fluids and drain the gasoline and stuff, and it just stays in there. Well, on top of this, keeping everything running the way it should, clean, it also acts as a stabilizer. So throughout the season, you're good. You have that safety of knowing, hey, next season when I go to crank this weed eater or whatever, it's going to fire up. So that's another really great product.
And that's a great point, guys, because how many times have we stored equipment for the winter only to come back in the spring and you have to have your carburetor cleaned out or carb adjusted, or you got floats sticking, needles sticking, whatever, and this is going to take care of that.
Exactly.
For the most part.
For the most part. Another great product here, and I could have brought this up earlier, Kevin. This is actually AMSOIL break-in oil. These are for your guys out there that they're trying to build the power. They want to rebuild their motors, and so often one thing that's always a concern is all these brand new parts working together. You've got all these brand new metals rubbing up against each other and creasing each other. So our AMSOIL break-in oil is actually for these engine builders, right? It actually has no friction modifiers in it whatsoever. It protects the cams, it seats the rings. This is your high zinc formula. This is, again, for those of you that like to build race car motors or even just a rebuild motor regardless, this is what you're looking for the first 1,000 miles to make sure everything is seated the way it's supposed to be sat.
So just like engines used to be, whenever you would buy a new car, you used to have to change your oil after the first 500 or 1,000 miles, and that's basically what this is. This is your break-in oil. So like Matt said, with your extra zinc, you're going to make sure your cam doesn't flatten out. You're going to make sure there's no metal shavings coming off or anything. So it's a good product.
Absolutely.
So Matt, now that we've talked about that, I see a little yellow envelope looking thing over there. What is that?
Well, Kevin, this is a pouch. AMSOIL synthetic 2-stroke oil is what this is.
Pouch, that's the word I was looking
pouch.
for.
This is the Sabre Professional, okay? So what this is actually is a synthetic 2-stroke oil. It is actually 100-to-1. Most of your 2-stroke oils will be 50-to-1, or they'll be 40-to-1, and you've even seen a 32-to-1 before. But this is actually a 100-to-1 pack. It makes 1 gallon for 1 pack, and this actually consistently outperforms the others. So AMSOIL actually did a test on like your weed eater. They did a test 300 hours worth with the Sabre Professional 100-to-1 two-stroke oil here, and it consistently tested with 0 issues, no carburetor issues. Everything was clean, everything was solid, and the fuel consumption was actually better too, believe it or not.
Oh, that's good news.
Another great thing that a lot of people love about this stuff is the low smoke. Often this will actually show little to no smoke whatsoever. You know, often with your weed eaters, you got that nasty blue smoke coming out the back.
Fog going on behind
Absolutely. You. This product here does not have that issue. The Sabre two-stroke Professional 100-to-1 synthetic oil, it's just like anything else AMSOIL produces. It's great stuff.
So the main thing I keep hearing from you, Matt, and I'm confident in saying this, is quality is everything with AMSOIL.
It is, Kevin. You and I talked recently, to those of you out there, Kevin and I have actually known each other for a little while now, and he knows my background. I am the type of person, I'm never going to push something that I don't believe in. I told him jokingly, but also completely honest, I could never be a used car salesman. I think if someone walked up and said, "Hey, is this a great car?" I think I'd just be like, I don't know that I would buy this car. And so I could never truly push something that I didn't believe in. But AMSOIL is not that case. It is not the case with AMSOIL. AMSOIL is a great product. Just as an example, so I mentioned it earlier in the video. This is AMSOIL Torque Drive. This is the synthetic heavy-duty automatic transmission fluid that I actually use in my own Corvette. My Corvette's actually a manual car, but just from the factory, GM calls for automatic transmission fluid for that car. They, I believe, call for Mobil 1. Again, I used Redline. I believe Mobil 1 may be what was in it initially. I used Redline, but now after the AMSOIL, it shifts like butter. But again, this is for your heavy-duty situations. This is not only for like your high-performance cars. This is also for like your trucks and stuff that pull heavy loads. You know, and so it's often used in those types of cases.
So this would be great for like a diesel.
Absolutely.
Diesel truck, heavy-duty truck.
Absolutely. Great. And continue on with the transmission theme. We've actually got the AMSOIL 100% automatic transmission fluid. This is the Signature series. This was actually tested in Las Vegas, Nevada, which was really cool, with their cabs. There was a company that tested these for 180,000 miles.
Wow.
To test versus just your traditional automatic transmission fluid that they were already using. And consistently, this came up clean. They didn't have transmission slipping. They didn't have any other issues that would normally come, hard shifting, anything of that nature. And after they cracked open the transmission at the end, it was consistently cleaner. There was less brass in the bottom of the pan. This just, like I said, it's good quality stuff.
And even here on the pack, it said it's certified for severe towing, severe terrain, and severe temperature.
Absolutely. That's another thing. Great point. That's another thing about AMSOIL's product. They consistently test in the lowest of low temperatures as well as the heat of the summer. And they consistently test the internals of everything that they test to make sure that the temperatures are staying regulated, everything's staying lubricated and protected. And that's when you think AMSOIL, that is the ultimate word, is protection. Consistently, it outperforms all of your other brands. Protection-wise, you can't do better than AMSOIL. And so, the manual transmission fluid, same thing. It's going to be the exact same thing happening. It is a great product. And one thing I will mention about these Easy Packs, this is something I didn't mention before with this, but these Easy Packs make it super easy when you're trying to go into your transmission. Often you got to get a pump and you've got to go throughout that whole process. You actually just connect a hose to this and you squeeze it right up into the tranny, which makes a lot less mess and it's less waste. So that's a great thing. But the 100% synthetic manual transmission transaction fluid consistently outperforms the other as well because it's good for those heavy loads as well as the low temperatures.
Oh, wow. So, quickly, Matt, now that we've shown an overview of these products, and like I said before, there's a lot more where this came from, and they will be in future videos. But how can people watching the videos, how can they get a hold of their AMSOIL products? And give us your link and tell us tell us what we can do to get these.
Absolutely. And Kevin, you're so right. There's so many more products than just what we have here. You know, we've got the diesel oil, the heavy duty, as well as the max duty diesel oil. We've got lubes for chainsaws and you know, 2-cycle. We've got go-kart oil, anything you can think of lubrication, we have it. A great way that you can actually find these AMSOIL products is actually on our webpage. You can find us. The name of my business is actually Sirius Synthetics. You can find us on Facebook at Sirius Synthetics, as well as on Instagram at Sirius_Synthetics. We do have a website. It is mattwallace.myamsoil.com. And then we also have my email, which is mwallace.siriussynthetics@gmail.com. You can also always give us a call at 864-208-5770. Hey guys, just want to thank you for tuning in to Kevin's Auto Channel this week and giving him the time and me the time to actually hear me out. If you are interested in more in AMSOIL products, listen, we just skimmed the surface today, and I don't even know that I did justice to everything that I actually described, but there are so many other things that you can find. And if you are looking for a dealer, you can find me on Facebook at Sirius Synthetics. That's the name of my company. You can also find us on Instagram at Sirius_Synthetics. But once again, I also have a website, which is mattwallace.myamsoil.com. I also have an email address, mwallace.siriussynthetics@gmail.com. And if you do end up deciding that you want to buy from us, and you go to my website, the dealer number and or the referral number is actually going to be 302-23528. You can also find us, or you can give me a call at 864-208-5770. Guys, another thing that I do want to reiterate is definitely that preferred customer program. You're talking $20 for the year, and you get 25% off all of your future purchases. That is a steal of a deal. Whether I was a dealer or not, I would totally buy into that. Another thing that I forgot to mention earlier, we actually offer our retail accounts as well as commercial accounts. If you are a shop owner and you really want to get in on the ground level and you want to start pushing AMSOIL products out your door, or even be an installer, we offer that as well. And your commercial accounts. Again, guys, the biggest thing is protection. Long term, your products, your equipment, everything is going to last so much more if you use the AMSOIL products. Again, do your own research if that's something that you're into. I actually encourage you to do your own research, and you'll see that AMSOIL consistently comes up as the tip top.
So guys, there you go. That is Matthew Wallace with AMSOIL. And I want to say thank you so much for coming out to do this video. And like Matt said, you know, that's just skimming the surface of what AMSOIL offers. So be sure, check out his website. He'll make a great dealer for you. Show him some love and support. And be sure and to check out the preferred customer program. Sign up for that. Like I said, for a small fee, it's going to pay for itself your first order or two. And plus, you're going to get free stuff throughout the year with their promotions. So, a 25% off discount, that's nothing to sneeze at. So be sure and check that out. And then once you sign up for that, they will send you a catalog in the mail. I know most everybody does everything with internet these days on the websites. But hey, keeping a catalog in your garage or in your shop, it sounds like a good thing to me. So be sure and check them out. Show Matt some support. And as always, thank you for tuning in. And I hope you have a great day today. All right, guys, now is the time that you have been waiting for. Once again, I want to thank everyone so much for helping me get to the 1,000 subscriber mark. We are now well beyond that, even though I was out sick with COVID. But now it is time to reveal the winner of the 159-piece Craftsman Mechanics tool set. Now, when I reveal the winner, you will have 3 days to contact me at kevinsautochannel@gmail.com. Please provide me with your full name, and your address that you would like the tool set delivered to. And the winner is Joey Alfaro. Thank you so much, Joey, for subscribing to the channel. I hope that you enjoy and put to good use your very own Craftsman Mechanics tool set. Once again, guys, thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Be sure to like this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe, because there will be future giveaways to happen as we hit more milestones. I will see you in the next one.